Hi, everybody. This is Barbara Mayerson from joyandsuccess.com, and I am so thrilled and honored today to have Pam Grout. She's an amazing author. She's an amazing spiritual teacher, and from studying the Course in Miracles and all that she does, and I'm just so thrilled and honored. Thank you so much for being here with me today, Pam.
Well, thank you, Barbara. I'm so honored that you asked.
Um, you have such a wonderful way of looking at life, and especially you've gone through your own tragedy a year or so ago, and just the way that you look at life has been such an inspiration to me and so many other people. And I want to talk about a little bit how you got started on this path. Have you always been on this spiritual journey that you've been on, and how long when you started the Course of Miracles and you started to learn about it?
Yeah, I'd say I've been on a spiritual journey my entire life, as I think all of us are. Some of us are less aware of it than others, but I have always been aware that I was more than this physical body. I think from the time I was a child, I can even remember, and I don't know exactly how old I was, but when I was young, I remember sort of leaving my body, kind of like flying around. My spirit was, I don't know, just, and I was aware that I had the choice, are you going to come back here to the physical body? And I'm not even exactly sure how to describe that. And for years, I never told anybody that because I thought it was really like, oh, what is this? So I think, when I came into this physical incarnation, it was obvious that I had a purpose, as we all do. And I think I've been aware kind of forever that I was more than just this physical body. Although, like everyone on planet Earth, I've spent a lot of time focusing on my physical body and making sure my physical body gets the things that it needs and wants. I mean, certainly, I've been very aware of that, but I do feel that I'm also aware, the bigger part of the bigger part of me. We're all multidimensional beings, and we live on so many different levels. And I lucky that while I kind of have made a life for myself on the physical level, I'm also very much aware of the bigger spiritual level, which to me is the foundation for everything in the material, everything in the true world. So I would say I've always been on this path to a certain degree. I grew up as a minister's daughter, so I was taught, as a kid, more a fundamentalist type way of believing about my spirituality. And I think as I evolved and, got out there more in the world, I began to question those very rigid beliefs about God. And that's how it was described to me. I think I see God as a much bigger, I mean, it's a mystery. We don't even totally understand it, but I do know it's so much bigger and more meaningful and more beautiful and loving than anything I can imagine, at least in my physical realm. Um, as to how long I've been studying the Course in Miracles, I would say I've probably been on the Course in Miracles path, along with a million little offshoots here and there, but probably for 30 some years. I've had the book in one form or another. I would lose them. I would, accidentally wash them. All kinds of things would happen with my Course in Miracles book. But I always would get another one, and I always, go back to it no matter what. So I would say 30 some years I've been on a Course in Miracles path to a certain extent. Yeah.
That's amazing because I mean I know I've been on a spiritual journey, but most of the people in my life are not. And it's been definitely a challenge to keep my own sanity with and who I am around them. Do you find that too, or did you always were you always around people that were supportive of you and what you were doing?
Well, I think, my family, like I said, they come at spirituality from a little bit different point of view than I do. I sort of evolved out of the point of view that I was raised in. So not everybody in my family would, probably second my beliefs about spirituality. But I've been lucky in that I've found communities throughout my life that, because I just think it's really important to have communities. And I feel like, since some of my books have come out, some even communities have formed around my books and about the principles that I speak about. So I feel like I'm lucky in that I have many, many communities tribes, whatever you want to call it, who do know this. And I do feel like this conversation of us being more, of a bigger, higher purpose is the most important conversation any of us can have. And if anything, I feel like my purpose partly is to keep bringing us back to that conversation, that miracle conversation, that there is more conversation. So I'm lucky, like I said, that I have communities of people that I can talk about this with and that I can share miracles. And I mean, even, readers of my books send me miracles all the time. So I feel fortunate in that I do have a community that, would second, that would, fully say right on with, the kind of things that I talk about.
Well, I'd like to just definitely talk about what's going on, or your take on what's going on in the world today, but also like get a rundown a little bit about your books, because your books are amazing. I got Thank and Grow Rich, and your take to really, really believe that we can control everything. We can put out there what we want and we get it. And I think the other ones that you swear and the other ones that you have done have been just amazing. Just talk a little bit about your books and you can either promote them or just talk about what they've done for the world. Because I know like you're always getting wonderful people talking about how amazing they are and what they're getting from them.
Yeah, well, I don't know that my teaching would be that you can get whatever you want. I mean, I do feel that we have control over how we view things and our perspective. And I think, I believe there's a much higher perspective, and that what we can do for ourselves is to tune into that higher perspective where we don't see the world in a one-dimensional form. So I don't know, when you said that about, oh, you can get whatever you want, I don't know that I always believe that, but I do believe that we have control over how we see things that happen in the world. And I feel that as we open to a bigger reality, into more a spiritual, bigger dimension, miracles are revealed to us. The light is revealed to us. And, Course in Miracles is very clear. Our thoughts do create our reality. And that is very true. Our thoughts do create everything that happens to us. However, there is a bigger thought, the bigger spirit, the bigger God, whatever you want to call it, that exists. And that is the ultimate creation, or the ultimate belief system, I guess. So I don't know if that explains what you were asking, but I thought I'd clear that up about, no, I don't think you get everything you want, but you do always get to choose how you view things and how you are going to react to them and how you're going to see them, and whether you're going to be open to seeing a bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of things we can't control, but you certainly can control the way you think and the way you
right
see the world. And with that note, although I don't, everybody's focusing on the coronavirus and what's going on here, and I've loved some of the things that you've been writing about it and the way that you see it, because they're very different and it's so needed. And like there's so much fear and anxiety out there, but which is contributing to it more and more. So what is your take on what's going on out there, and how can we find more peace and hope in what's going on?
Well, in many ways, we can look at this as a pretty exciting time, because I feel like everything we have believed in, and there's a lot of beliefs people have that are not necessarily serving us. The dominant paradigm of our culture is like literally being stripped down to the rafters. I mean, everything that we thought we counted on, all the security we thought we had, we're realizing that it may not be real security. So I feel like this is a time for us to really find our real security, the true security, which is that bigger picture that I'm talking about, which is what some call God, which is this higher purpose. And I feel like through this, we have this beautiful opportunity to literally change our culture and our society, and how we're going to, proceed forward after this, because so many of the things we thought were the way the reality was. I mean, it just changed like almost overnight. And one of the beautiful things that I have really thought about, two big major things, is this happened so quickly. I mean, it shifted so fast, which gives me hope that we can change. You know, these patterns that we've been locked in for so long, it's almost like, well, someday we'll, you know, have equality. Someday we'll have, you know, peace on the planet. Someday we'll have these things. But it always seemed like something out there really far away, like maybe in 5 lifetimes from now. Or, you know, I mean, it was sort of those kind of thoughts, I think a lot of us might add. And so now we have the proof that things can happen really quickly. Things can change really quickly. So that's a good thing. We also are giving, I mean, detailed proof that we are all one. I mean, this invisible virus that started in one spot in the world is now in every spot on the world. So how quickly, it shows how we are all connected. And for anybody that believes, you know, anybody that's still othering, oh, well, that person over there, or that, you know, that's not true. And I think this is showing us that so clearly. So it's a great opportunity if we embrace it that way. And I know there is a lot of fear and there is a lot of panic, and that happens when we birth a new way of being. It's like, you know, when you have physical birth of a baby, you know, it's messy, there can be pain involved, but it is a beautiful new thing that's coming onto the earth. And we're already seeing things, you know, the planet is healing, the planet is coming back together. And I think one thing that's really important for us to realize, this is being orchestrated. If we really believe what we say we believe, that the universe has our back, and that, you know, life is here for me, everything is for me, not against me, this too is for us. So to really hang on to that, this is for us. So we can fight it, we can resist it, or we can listen to it. We can develop our own thoughts on it. But to buy into the fear is, of course, you know, those old political forces, those old societal paradigms are going to try to manipulate us with fear. That's the ego, if you want to call it that. That's what the Course in Miracles calls it, has been very active out there trying to scare us. And there's certainly evidence that we could say, yeah, this is really scary. And yes, I'm not suggesting that it's not scary. I'm just suggesting that there is a higher, bigger purpose to all this. And that's what I, you know, want to hang on to. And that's what I want to put my focus on, because again, what we put our focus on expands. So that's, you know, what's important for me.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, because I know, like, I try to fight it by not listening, or I get mad at the politicians for, like, just talking about everything that's going on. But instead of just getting angry, just really embrace it and love them as best I can, and know that what's happening is for us and not against us, and that the world is going to be a better place for it. And already is so much. And I think that I'm hoping that the higher ups, or whoever is controlling whatever's going on in this world, will get that in their psyche. I know when you're talking about, like, we're all one. I spoke to somebody from Australia the other day, and same thing going on over there that's going on over here.
Oh,
So
it's happening in every country. I have, you know, people that I talk to, Italy, Mexico, just had a call with a woman from Scotland. I mean, it literally is happening everywhere. That's what I mean. There is no separation. We are one. Just like that aspen grove, you know, I've talked about this before. You know, you look at a hillside of aspens and it looks like, oh, look at all those beautiful trees, all those individual trees. Every one of those trees is connected to a big root system underneath, every one. And just like all of us humans, we are connected to a bigger root system, or a, you know, a bigger thing. We are one as well. And certainly this current situation with the virus is showing us that.
do you think that people are going to really start to get that? More and more people start to believe the way that you do and the way I'm trying to do. Believe that
Uh,
we're one. And
do I believe people will? Well, we always have that choice. You know, every moment we have that choice. I feel like those of us that are familiar with these principles, that have practiced Course in Miracles, that practice spiritual principles, it's really our time to hold true to that vision. Because, you know, there's that 100 monkey thing where, if enough people get it, you don't have to be exposed to it yourself, but if enough people get it, I'm talking about the truth, this bigger picture, then it will just spread into the whole culture. So I feel like those of us that know about the light and shining our light, this is really an important job we all have, even sitting at our home, staying home, just like the medical people have their job right now, the delivery people. I mean, everybody's got their job. And for some of us, those of us that know this higher truth, it is really not our job, but it's our opportunity to really hold that vision and to know that just by sitting at home, holding that vision, you're doing important things, seeing that light from whatever your little spot. My daughter had a thing in our bedroom says you can see the whole world from here, the whole world from here. And that is such a truth, from wherever you are, the whole world is listening to you. I've always thought about, the monks that are in monasteries, they're not out seeing people. They're there doing their practice and praying and doing what they do. And I've often wondered, maybe they're the ones holding the world together, And so now all of us in some ways are monks, or we're here in our solitary. So we can use this. And I think a lot of people are using this time to really look at truth and to envision truth and to envision a different way, because how we knew the world before, it's not going to be the same after this. I mean, some people hate that. It's like, I want to go back to normal, but maybe normal wasn't working so well, and maybe this is the best thing to ever happen to us.
Yeah, I mean, listening to you, it's like, I know when I get into my fears, I'm going to remember what you're saying, and I try and say that it's for us. I had heard somewhere along the line that for every good thing out there, you're affecting 250,000 people. So my little life here in my home, if I can just hold that light and hold that energy, helping 250,000 people, whether I know it or not, or they know it or not. So because it's such a wonderful way to live instead of all the fear based that everybody's living. And it's amazing that we need more people like you out there speaking like that. And you spreading the word. It's just absolutely amazing. That's why you're so popular.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know that I'm so popular, but thank you.
But yeah, and I think that it's just amazing the kind of things that you do. Well, I'm so impressed by everything that you do. And do you live by this way most of the time, or do you become go into the fear-based stuff at times too?
Oh, of course. I think there's a few people on this planet like Eckhart Tolle or Byron Katie that have woke up and they just live in that state of complete peace and joy. I mean, that's what I think. But I'm one of these people that notice if I have to do my work, my spiritual practice. If I don't, I mean, to me, it's the most important thing I do each morning. If I don't, and there's days I don't, it's real easy for my little crazy monkey mind to slide right into fear. No, and right now there's a lot of forces wanting to scare us. I mean, so it's very important. So no, I'm not. I'm no saint. I always feel this way. I have to work at it. Just like if I'm going to be a good pickleball player, I like to play pickleball. I'm currently on hold, but I have to practice pickleball. If I want to be good at anything, we have to practice it. And it's not like, oh, I've gotten there one day, like, oh, now I'm a great pickleball player. No, you have to keep practicing. And same with spiritual principles. So no, I'm just like everybody else. I feel like all my work is aspirational. I'm aspiring to be the things I write about. There's many days I'm true to my principles. There's many days I live in fear just like anybody else. But I do know the difference. And I'm so pleased and happy that I do have the tools that I do know how to, shift my consciousness. And I'm very grateful for my communities that I have that help us. It's like Ram Dass said, we're all just walking each other home. And, there's days when I can't get there. And so I have to call on somebody from my tribe. There's days when maybe I can help somebody else out. So, it's just an ongoing day by day practice. And especially now, I think it's so important to kind of live in the moment. I have today. And I'd say, if anything, the lesson I learned from, Taz, and I'm still dealing with losing my best friend, my most precious person in my life, is just we have today. That's all we know. And so what can I do for today? How can I be the most positive or the most shed the most light today. How can I do that? And so today, this is it. That's all I know for today.
And can you give us some of the tools that you use to get out of that monkey mind?
Now say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Give us some tools or a tip or two to get out of that monkey mind that you can share with us.
Well, I'll tell you, here's a funny one that I just started yesterday. Jack Black, I don't know if you know him, he's an actor. He did the funniest video. I feel like, oh, this should be my spiritual practice. Just watching his video, just him dancing and crazy and not caring about anything. That was something that really, touched me yesterday. But in general, I tend to read my Course in Miracles lesson. I go through the Course in Miracles starting on January 1st with lesson 1, and I go through it every year. I have talked a little bit about my AA 2.0 program where I mean, gratitude, I think, is super important at a time like this, is to keep our vision on what we're grateful for, not about the things we're not happy with. So my AA 2.0 program is I get up in the morning, a simple 2-step program, much easier than the 12-step AA program. But I get up and I say something really great's going to happen to me today. And it started at something amazingly awesome. And in fact, my daughter gave me all letters of the alphabet, bodaciously beautiful, epically extraordinary, things like that. She made me a calendar, and that is, her artwork is actually in the cover, inside the cover of both covers of my new book. But so I start out with saying, making that intention that something really beautiful is going to happen today. And then I text blessings to what I call my possibility posses, one of my groups. And it's a blessing that happened from the day before. And it's something that is new. You can't repeat something that you were grateful for yesterday because, you can say the same things over and over again. But if you're really out there looking for new things that you're going to report, new things you're grateful for, it really can shift your mindset. So gratitude is just so important. Like in the Course in Miracles, they talk about grievances. We have these grievances. And if we're focusing on our grievances or the things that aren't going right, then we're not going to see truth. And, I want to see truth. I want to see the light, live in the light. And to do that, the best way I know how to do that is to practice gratitude. So that's one tool. I'm very lucky. Like I said, I have a lot of tools. I know about tapping. I've done the work with Byron Katie. I've done a lot of different things. Anytime I want to, I can practice Ho'oponopono. I've got, like, when you've got a crazy mind like mine, you need a lot of tools, and I have a lot of tools. And, I do different ones. Like I said, right now, my tool is watching Jack Black dance. So, it varies. I have different tools, and it depends on what time of the year or what happens to be up for me right then.
I think that's great. Yeah, you reminded me about banking brokerage. So you had that in the first chapter, I think the first chapter about the AA 2.0. And I haven't done it myself, and that something wonderful is going to happen today. I do it for like a week or two, and then I stop. So thank you for reminding me to do it, and hopefully reminding everybody. Well, you've just been amazing, and I'm just so grateful that you're on. And we really need you in this time, all the time. One of the things also, I'm just remembering that one of your latest emails was about it's okay. And that helps me a lot, that I keep on saying, it's okay, whatever's happening, it's okay.
Yeah, I call them the 2 magic words. It's okay. If you're laying around and eating nothing but ice cream all day, that's okay. We're going through this global pandemic. So whatever you're doing, I think a lot of people are, oh, we have all this quiet time. I'm going to write that great novel, or I'm going to clean out that closet. You know what? That's okay if you didn't do that. That's okay. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're feeling, it's okay. Because as we make it okay, then we have less resistance, and then truth can come through. Because we are also tempted to beat ourselves up all the time. I mean, we're always beating ourselves up. So those magic words, it's okay. It's okay if you feel depressed today. It's okay if you're doing nothing but binge watching Netflix. Whatever you're doing, it's okay. And that's very, very important. As we're going through this time, to love ourselves is just really super important. I mean, we want to keep our immune systems at their healthiest. And when we live in a calmer state, and it's okay state, that boosts our immune systems. And along with your vitamin C or whatever, you're doing, the best thing you can do for your immune system is to be okay.
Yeah,
with whatever.
And I think like, yeah, getting out of the fear. Know that it's okay that you're in the fear and just be aware of it, and then just find a way to walk out of it as best you can. And it's okay. So I'm just, again, I'm just so pleased and grateful that you're here on this call with me and this video. And I know we're going to send it out. Everybody else will send it out to you, and you can send it out to whoever you want, and, to the people. And just keep on shining your light, because your light is shining on all of us out there. So thank you so much for being with us. And
Well, thank you, Barbara. I really appreciate this opportunity.
oh, my pleasure. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and you'll get all the recordings of this and of Pam, and have a wonderful day.